Dun, dun. 3 minute unrated. I guess yes. I guess we're doing 3 minute unrated. We're gonna look at FartyParty's game first that he submitted a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Anyway, this is a 15-minute game with no increment and no delay, and there was a 2-week delay in showing you the game. I'm only 12. Should I be here? 12 what? 12 months? 12 weeks? 12 score? 12 score, you should be dead. Yeah. 12 decades, still dead. But 12 score, yeah. Yeah. 12 score, of course. Yeah. That's right. All right, we're on Chess TV, and we have the same number of viewers as my brother's rating when he was 9. Hooray, go 1,237. Aw, 1316. I don't remember that rating. Hi, people of the... I tried to get Holden down here, told him to come on stream for a few minutes, but he's taking German at MIT, and he said, "Ich don't think so." And then I said, "Can't you be on for 10 minutes?" And he said, 9! So he might come on for 9 minutes or he won't show up. I'm not sure. It's possible. Yeah. Etc. Yeah. Ron Saddleback, 27-27. Man, the truth hurts. Luckily, he's challenging me incorrectly. Yeah, it's 3 minute unrated. So if you don't challenge 3 minute unrated, you're banned. And your children's children. For 6 months. Yeah. 12 ELO. DMCA. Okay, so that's that. Well, okay, let's look at the game, I guess, because, what else am I going to do? I don't even see a way to look at the game. Where's the stuff? Oh, there it is. If I have the analysis board up, then it ruins the stream. So I have to have this up. So I guess this will do it. Yeah, okay, there we go. If you want my laptop to be closer to you, move it closer to me, etc. Where's the scam train? What's going on here? Yeah. I'm on the road to 2803. I'm 2802. Yeah. If you look at the YouTube video, the shortened version, there's a comment by Gotham Chess. So there you go. Go Gotham Chess. Okay, so FartyParty invented an opening because somebody has to. Okay, so this is the advanced Carol Khan. He didn't invent that. Now, at the super duper GM level, Bishop F5 is the most common, and probably the second most common is C5. And normally I play C5, but I have played Bishop F5 also, and so forth. Yeah. Okay, this is a 15-minute game played 2 weeks ago by FartyParty on another server, and it wasn't even Lee Chess. All right. So he plays F4. He made up this idea. And then after takes, knight to D2. So that makes a lot of sense except for one thing, right? However, he did make it up. So there you go. Yeah, something. Why don't I have my, something? I guess it doesn't come up if you're doing this. Well, I don't have any analysis help, so that means I'm going to be a bad analysis. Darn. I am Rick's gifted some subs. How many subs? Nobody knows, but thanks. Looks like 5. I guess I could find out, but that would take me seconds. Hey, it was 5. Okay. Good job. Okay, so... So obviously the main move is to take on C5, and knight F3 is also common, and C4, and c3. These are all played by super GMs. Probably taking's the most common. Okay, so he played f4 and knight d2. And he's analyzed this, and it's his own line, so he likes it. And obviously, black doesn't have to take on d4. Black could not take on d4, knight c6. Then he would play knight f3 and so forth. So what he's doing is he's playing a bad line against in the advanced French with an extra tempo. So if this pawn was on e6 as in an advanced French and it was black's move, this is just known to be a good line for white. In fact, this would transpose into one of my more favorite Morphy games, where he won with black in 15 moves. Now, with the pawn here instead of here, there's advantages to both sides. With the pawn here, the black bishop on f8 can get out, and with the pawn on e7, the bishop on c8 can get out. So it's not clear who this helps. Okay. So this is his idea, is to control the center, dominate the center. And what FartyParty wants to do is he wants to avoid playing knight f3. So he keeps his knight on g1. Never play knight f3. Now, if he plays knight f3, then black will play bishop g4, pinning the knight. But if he doesn't play knight f3, then black won't do that. And if black eventually acquiesces and plays e6, leaving his bishop here, then we'll just be a tempo up in an advanced French because black's transposing to a French, whereas someone in the chat pointed out he played c6 and c5, so he's down a tempo. However, if black never plays e6, he can get his bishop out. If he never plays e6, it's hard to get these pieces out. So basically, chess is too hard. You should play some other game. Delicious. Okay. So Pacheco played queen b6, not playing e6, keeping his bishop on c8, ready for knight f3. And he played a4. He's going to tickle the queen with a5. And if black plays a5 to stop white from playing a5, that gives up the b5 square, which happens not only in French defense positions, but also in Sicilians. So a5, b5 is strategically pretty good for white. So he played a6, not stopping a5, but stopping bishop b5. So a5. And the reason he played a6 is he wants to keep a defense to this pawn. So he says, well, my pawn's defended. If you want to win it back, you have to go here, and then I can play bishop g4. So basically, both players are strategical grandmasters. But if they're strategical grandmasters and they're 2300, that means tactically, not too good. Okay, so bishop d3. Again, not only is he stopping bishop g4 by not playing knight f3, he also stops bishop f5. So black says, but I want to play bishop f5. Wah. And finally, FartyParty gives up and resigns the game. And he paid $50 for me to show this 10-move game where he resigned here. Okay, maybe not. Yeah. No, queen a7 is cutting off your nose to spite your face. Man, so many jokes I can make that I can't make. Damn. Yeah, those jokes would be not so good. Not so good. Okay, so FartyParty says that move is terrible, frankly. The reason he played it is to defend his pawn, but FartyParty says, at what price? So black is doing everything he can to beat up that pawn, which is basically useless. These pawns can't move. The queen is tied down in the corner. It's hard to escape. So you could say black is up a pawn, and then maybe a super GM would say, yeah, but black's down a queen. Truth hurts. Okay. So, he's given up a lot to get his, Okay, bishop g4 finally. Castles, e6. Put it in h. Now here, I would argue probably bishop g4 wasn't so good because, earlier when he played it, because now he has a Sophie's choice. And probably wouldn't have a Sophie's choice if he had cut off his nose. Okay. So the Sophie's choice is like trap my own bishop and lose. Go bishop f5, so I'm just losing a tempo. I could have played bishop f5 instead of bishop g4. Or give up the two bishops, and then white has the two bishops and the what else. Yeah. FartyParty explaining things like he's Carissa Yip. Carissa Yip is like, I'm giving this pawn away and then just leave it there and I win. Now, I've noticed very few people are chatting, even though my joke should get me banned from Twitch. So I'm wondering if it was in sub only, but it doesn't look like it. Somebody who didn't sub just chatted. So that just means the people watching aren't very bright. All right. All right. What am I drinking? What kind of question is that? It's Perrier. What else do you drink here? Yeah. We aren't bright indeed. Yeah, we're thinking not our strong suit. Yeah, I just got here. All right, you guys have good excuses, though. I got to give you that. Okay, so bishop takes, queen takes. Now white has a free attack on the king side. G4, F5, Papa John's. Black has almost no counterplay. And as Kangaroo once said to me, he has keine Gegenspiel. And we were having lunch, me and Kangaroo, so I told him I had ohne Schinken. Okay. And anyway, when we ordered, and I told them I was a vegan, the waiters all started laughing because we were in Germany. And Kangaroo was like, look, this guy's American. Okay. Anyway, Kangaroo, not a vegan, he wanted to know if they had any good fish at the restaurant. And they said, Fischer's Fritz, Fischer. So he ordered that. Yeah. Go Kangaroo. True story. Yeah. And so forth. Ona Shankland. That's also good. Yeah. And that was like 2 jokes. Okay, so to continue the game with this, very intelligent audience here. Bishop e7, g4, as recommended by Matt Larson, amongst others. Knight g8. That's when you know things haven't gone well. Yeah, I wouldn't play knight g8 even if it was the best move. Okay, maybe I would. Yeah, problem is here, I think Black has 4 options, and they're all bad. Black can castle kingside. That might be the worst. Castle queenside. Play king d7 or play f6. f6, you try to play knight f7, and you put some pressure in the center. All 4 of those ideas look really horrible. Knight g8 wasn't one of those options. In fact, I don't know what he's going to do after knight g8. Let's find out. Yeah. King h1. So he's getting off of this diagonal, but nobody knows why. However, the king on h1 isn't likely to get attacked on the diagonal or the file. So it's pretty safe. If I was white and I wanted to move my king, probably I'd go to g2. But FartyParty probably has something in mind. Nobody knows what it is. Okay, h5, trying to punish king h1. And then he took. If his king was on g2, he could do whatever he wants. And he decided, like, okay, if I'm going to play king h1 and he's going to respond to h5, then I'm going to take. So now the material balance is, reestablished. And then I have g1 for my rook. So he thought, all right, sounds good. Knight went back to h6. Then the pawn went back to g4. Knight went back to g8. Draw. No, that didn't happen. Yeah. Okay, bishop d2. He did long castle. Good. Rook c1. Now he wants to move his pawn, and then there's no discovered check on his king. But he wants to open the c file. Most likely with c4 due to its explosiveness. And if anybody knows about exploding and blowing things up... Oh, wait, that's a kangaroo joke. Never mind. Okay, so rook d g8. That's the too old, too slow. c4, that's explosive. So white has an actual attack, and black is just kidding. Now, more important than who's attacking whom, more important, is that queen's pretty reasonable. It's in the center, attacks the center, defends the h-pawn, defends the other h-pawn, defends the bishop, makes f5 pretty reasonable. Conversely, queen a7, no good. You can't ruin your whole position because you're trying to defend your d4 pawn, which, as explained, FartyParty doesn't even want to take. So the fact that white is crashing through in the center, black's rooks are trapped on the side, black's queen is trapped on the side, white has no material deficit, and almost as important as everything I said, white has the two bishops. And if you've watched my lectures or my stream, and you remember, I know I'm asking too much. When you have two bishops and you say, I have the two bishops, that insinuates your opponent does not. So usually they have a bishop and a knight. Because if they had two knights for your two bishops, then you would say two knights against two bishops, and you would foam from the mouth. Now, in the instances where you have two bishops against bishop and knight, which is the most likely way to have two bishops, one of your bishops has no counterpart, so that color is your color. And in this position, that would be the white squared bishop. There is no white squared bishop for black. So that bishop is going to be good, good. And when it starts attacking and defending and threatening stuff, black has nothing to say about that. Black's just like, oh, well, I wish I had a white squared bishop. And that's why moves that look sort of normal, like knight f5, they don't look too good here. No, now it looks like you're just getting crushed. Okay, so he played DC en passant. You forgot about en passant because I was talking so long. You forgot that it was c4. Yeah, okay. Now, I think he has to take en passant because if white does that, I don't like that. And if black does that, I don't like that either. Rook takes, double up on the bubble up, bishop e4, Papa John's. And as we know, Papa John's not very good. So when your opponent says Papa John's, you're not doing well. Okay, takes. Right now, every move of this game, I would have been playing king b8, trapping my queen further. Then after something like this, I could play queen a8 exclam. That's one of the reasons I thought king d7 was a possibility, because king c8 is turning out to be a bad square. Okay, g6. Now, the reason he played g6, Pacheco, he wants to get counterplay in the slowest possible way. He was like, g6, yeah, in about 11 moves I'll have counterplay. Frankly, ridiculous. All right. He takes, bishop e3, forcing the queen back further. d4 wouldn't be good because the rook is pinning the knight, so that just gives more material away. So queen a8. The reason he played queen e8 instead of queen b8 is twofold. He wants to defend c6 in case of knight d4, rook c1, and he wants to play king b8. And if you play here, none of those things are happening. So that's good that his queen is here, except for one thing. It's not good. Knight d4, king d7, proving my king d7 wasn't so stupid. Knight takes e6, the unnecessary sacrifice that FartyParty can't help himself. Okay, now probably the engine would say good, good, because if king takes, he's going to play f5, and he's going to break on through, break on through, break on through. Yeah, 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 yeah. So, you know, knight takes e6 is just crashing through. You could also play rook here and try to crash through on this file. But, you know, different players win different ways. This probably wins the quickest. So if he doesn't take, then it wins. Then f5. And man, this is the worst position ever. Frankly, terrible. If I was black in a slow game, I would certainly resign. Because without any analysis, I'm like, no. This is the worst position that's ever happened since the fall of the Berlin Wall. And by that, I mean the first time Kasparov beat Kramnik in a Berlin. Takes, takes, king takes. Now here, knight takes would hang checkmate, and so white would be better. And king here runs into many winning moves. I don't know which one he would play, but if I had an engine on, it would say every legal bishop move wins, unless this doesn't win. And if you don't like moving your bishop with discovered check, you could also play queen d5 check if you want to win. Queen here check looks like it's like mate in 3. So I'm guessing that's pretty good. And also every bishop move wins all of black's pieces and mates. Another good move, which I just saw, is queen h5 check, very similar to queen d5 check, except queen h5 check might be better. So god damn. Okay, so if every legal move wins, this must be better, where only most legal moves win. So thanks for Shady Graves. Right, the queen on a8 is safe from getting captured, so that's good. Yeah, black definitely doesn't want a situation where he would reverse the king and queen, where his king would be safe and his queen active, because he might lose his queen. Okay, rook takes c6, always sack the exchange. Was it necessary? No. Was it fun? Yeah. Bishop d4 check. Okay, with the obvious idea, if king takes, this is mate because I said so. And if king here, this is mate because I said so. Probably there's other ways to win too. I don't know what he actually did. He could have resigned or he could have done this because I don't have the game up. Oh, wait, I could push this. King takes d4. Okay, so he did and then checkmate. Yeah. Now, this was a great game by FartyParty, showing the, the initiative and the two bishops and the open king and how safe white's king is on h1. But what FartyParty didn't tell anybody, but I did some of my own investigation, this was played on another website. They figured out that he indeed used an engine and he was banned from the site. He was hoping I wouldn't find that out, but I'm a grandmaster. So even though this cost FartyParty all of his LA privileges, they did find him in a bowl of rice in Indochina, and they popped a cap in his ass. Yeah. Go FartyParty. The more you donate, the better my analysis is. Yeah. Ron Saddleback is having a big problem challenging me with the proper parameters. Although I do like his picture of Powers Booth. Yeah. Right, but the important thing is to recognize when attacks work and when they don't, and when you have an initiative and when you don't. It was clear after c4, white was winning. And it was clear that queen a7 wasn't the proper square for the queen unless the queen can get out pretty soon. And instead it went to a8. So when you put your pieces on bad squares, especially if they're important pieces like the queen, then you're basically playing down a queen. I like the crisscross mate, and what's good about the crisscross mate is there's no doubt that this crisscross is better than the rap group from 30 years ago, Crisscross. There's just no doubt.